In episode 6 of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, Megumi silently infiltrates the Fight Club's rooftop by slipping into the first guard's shadow. He restrains the man from behind with a rear-naked choke, knocking him unconscious before taping his mouth and zip-tying his hands. A second guard passes by without noticing, and Megumi immediately dives into his shadow as well, eventually taking him down with a triangle choke. He neutralizes both guards while staying perfectly within the camera's blind spots. At the same time, two other guards spot Panda casually playing with a tire and think nothing of it. One jokingly wonders if Panda eats fish sausage, while the other recognizes him from the tournament. In an instant, Panda knocks both men out, steals the fish sausage, and escapes up the emergency stairs where no cameras are installed. Panda reunites with Megumi on the roof and reassures him that the trouble they caused won't matter later. As they prepare to guard the monitor room door, Kirara suddenly steps out onto the lower level nearby. Both Megumi and Panda are shocked to see Kirara away from Hakari. Kirara quickly notices them, recognizes Megumi from the camera footage, and realizes that Megumi and Yuji are Jujutsu High students just like Panda. Believing Hakari is in danger, Kirara reaches for their phone, forcing Megumi to act. Megumi summons Divine Dog, Totality to stop Kirara, but the Shikigami is violently repelled and sent crashing back into him. Kirara drops their phone and rushes toward the monitor room while Panda tries to explain they're not enemies. Kirara refuses to listen, accusing Panda of betrayal. Megumi orders Divine Dog to block Kirara's path, but instead, Megumi himself is suddenly pulled toward the Shikigami. He realizes that not only can he not approach Kirara, but he also can't separate from Divine Dog. Neither he nor Panda notices the star-shaped symbol marked on Panda's back, Imai. With Kirara, Megumi, and Panda locked in a standoff due to the curse technique, Megumi decides to talk. He explains they aren't siding with the Jujutsu High higher-ups and only want Hakari's help. Kirara dismisses this and points out that Jujutsu High always relied on Gojo to fix their problems. When Megumi tries to reveal that Gojo has been sealed, Kirara reacts with clear disbelief, making it obvious they don't buy the claim. Realizing persuasion alone won't work, Megumi activates Rabbit Escape, summoning dozens of rabbit Shikigami across the rooftop. He notices each rabbit is marked with Acrux, while the monitor room door bears Gacrux. The rabbits swarm the roof, revealing which areas they can and can't approach. Kirara easily repels them and mocks Megumi for summoning so many. When Megumi suddenly dispels the rabbits, he asks Panda what he noticed. Panda confirms the rabbits were drawn to him and the second floor, but couldn't approach Kirara or the door. Panda is marked Imai, while Megumi is marked Acrux. Megumi begins piecing it together and suspects Kirara's curse technique is based on a constellation. When he guesses the Southern Cross, Kirara reacts in surprise, confirming his theory. Now aware Megumi is close to figuring it out, Kirara resolves to stop him at all costs. Megumi recalls lessons from Tsumaki but is confused, noting that the Southern Cross should only have 4 stars. Through discussion with Panda, Megumi realizes the technique isn't about simple distance, but a specific sequence. Each star must be approached in order. Kirara and the door remain outside because Megumi and Panda haven't met the necessary conditions. This suggests a 5th star exists. Kirara suddenly goes on the offensive, marking a car with Imai and launching it at Panda. Panda barely catches it and tells Megumi to keep searching. When Panda throws the car away, it immediately slams back into him, proving Megumi's theory. Megumi deduces that stars can only be applied through direct contact or cursed energy residuals. Scanning the area, he finds a parking stop marked with Mimosa, the missing 5th star. However, just as he thinks he's safe, multiple objects marked Acrux fly toward him. Kirara reveals their technique, Love Rendezvous, marks 5 stars based on the Southern Cross. Each star can only approach another in a fixed order, determined by their distance in space. Since Megumi bears Acrux, he must pass through Mimosa and Ginen to reach Gacrux. Kirara admits Megumi figured it out impressively, but points out he underestimated them. Kirara can remove stars from their cursed energy and reassign them to other objects. Just as Kirara seems in control, Divine Dog suddenly reappears behind them. Megumi never dispelled it. By positioning himself and using cursed energy output, Megumi forced Kirara into a position where Divine Dog could finally reach them. Kirara is restrained, forcing Love Rendezvous to deactivate. Megumi pins Kirara down but only asks them to listen. He releases Divine Dog and admits he gambled, but learned that whoever has higher cursed energy output becomes the one who attracts. Seeing his sincerity, Kirara finally agrees to listen, only for the monitor room door to explode outward as Yuji crashes through it. Hakari emerges, furious. Yuji tells Megumi and Panda to stay back, which only irritates Hakari more. Hakari brutally punches Yuji, sending him flying across the roof. Yuji doesn't resist, staggering back up before collapsing again. Even as blood pours from his nose, Yuji refuses to fight back. Hakari realizes this isn't a life-or-death battle, and Yuji is deliberately enduring everything. Hakari agrees to listen only if Yuji can stay standing. He demands to know why Yuji wants his help. Yuji says everyone says Hakari is strong, earning another brutal punch. Hakari explains that asking a sorcerer for help means asking them to risk their life, and Yuji needs fever to convince him. Yuji says he has none, he's just a cog meant to eliminate curses. Hakari finds this boring and delivers his hardest punch yet, smashing Yuji into a wall. Just as Hakari tells Megumi and Panda to leave with Yuji, Yuji suddenly reappears behind him. Yuji repeats that he's a cog, and if Hakari is necessary for eliminating curses, then Yuji won't stop until Hakari agrees. He looks Hakari in the eye and asks him what his function is. Kirara interrupts, asking Hakari if Yuji's fever is burning hot enough yet. Hakari realizes the truth, the fever never lies. He finally agrees to hear Yuji out and declares he's willing to make a deal. Suddenly, Kogane appears and announces a new rule has been added to the Cullen game. Players can now access information on other players, including their name, points, rules added, and colony. The rule was added by Hajime Kashimo, a dominant player in Tokyo No. 2 colony with 200 points. Kashimo scoffs at the weakness of modern players and wonders aloud where Sukuna is. To find him, he adds this rule. And that's it for this episode, stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.